think we are live.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Even though I don't see nothing, but let's see what we got going on here with the live stream. We will be going live here shortly. I think my internet is slow. Oh no, it's just delayed. Stream health.
Quite delayed. I like it.
Stream health is excellent.
Yes.
So that's what it says. We're going to take its word for it. All right, we will be going live here shortly. We are doing a little I can't even talk.
A little herp derp. We're doing a little herp derp.
We were doing a little true crime. Of course, nobody's listening yet, so I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
When we get we'll wait till they go on. So hopefully what?
It just seems so clippy.
I don't know. I'll look into that, and maybe there's some kind of delay or something that I'll look into it. But the picture's much better.
Yeah.
So there is that. Or maybe there's so much shit going on this computer.
That might very well be it. Close all the porn tabs.
Yeah. But that's how this rolls. Hopefully no bag ladies will come knock on the door and bum a cigarette.
Jesus Christ.
Cigarettes from us.
Dude, it makes you wonder, like, at what level is it crazy and what level is it drugs?
Right. So, what are you looking at?
No, nothing.
Oh.
I'm just doing my due diligence here.
Yeah. So, but we will be going live. We're doing a little true crime tonight.
Yeah.
Paranormal style. Of course, if I remember how to pronounce the name.
Villisca.
Villisca. The Villisca axe murder. So, Villisca. So hopefully the live stream will work out with this new camera. I think we're going to have to work some bugs out. But it is what it is.
Fuck it.
I never said I was smart.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Shit, that's a lot of money.
So get a few more listeners here, or viewers, or whatever you want to call yourselves. We will be going live momentarily after we do all our social media. And I text.
We're so professional.
We are. We are.
No, we have viewers.
We have viewers.
Oh, what's up? While you're here, does the video look clippy to you watching it live? Or is that just the computer having to work?
Just let us know.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Well, we lost one already.
Bye.
See ya. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. You about ready to get this party started?
Again, as always, I was born ready.
You were born ready. Okay. Now remember, let's only do the intro once this time. Because if I mute the mics, I'll forget to
unmute them.
Unmute, and we'll be talking for an hour. Just
right, yeah. Because that's how we need to do things.
Okay, there is some lag. I'm gonna have to. Well, maybe tonight after we do this, I will look into the settings. That's all right. All right. Well, we'll have to roll with it and see. You wanted a better picture.
Isn't that natural?
All right.
Fuck. I'm upset.
Well, you won't. I can. No, I can't either.
What?
I was gonna say I can put the other webcam back up, but oh well, too late now. We're rolling.
That's
with
up to you.
Nah, we'll roll with this. But we'll see. Okay, we're ready to start. Are you? Fuck it. You do what you do.
Yeah, we still have to do the intro.
We gotta do the intro. So quiet. Ready? Hold on. Me. Roll it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 121 of Ghost in the Night, a Hauntings and Paranormal podcast. As always, Travis is to my left, or your right, whatever. Give it up for him. We are here on a Sunday live show, and as always in our life, shit is going wrong. Things are...
Apparently we still look adorable. Yes.
Isn't that a fucking given?
I mean, yeah, I walked in the door. That's all it takes.
Yes. But tonight we're talking true crime.
We are.
We're doing the Villisca Axe Murder House. Murder, whatever. But I do have a question.
What?
Why is true crime porn to women?
I don't know. And it's not just women. Like, I enjoy true crime shit, but, like, it really is.
I mean, it's...
Like, I call it murder porn all the time.
Exactly. I mean, it's almost scary. It's almost like men, you might want to sleep with one eye fucking open.
I don't understand. Like, there's many... I have my own theories, but I don't know. It's just... I mean, I get that it's interesting. I'm interested in anything that has, like, a basis in reality.
Yes, but...
Man, it is laggy.
But...
I'm so irritated.
I think just so many tabs opened up. I mean, maybe if I wonder if I close the internet, or, close this tab. Maybe, because it wasn't doing that before.
What, the live stream tab?
Yeah, because we can...
Can you do that?
I think so.
It doesn't close the live?
Not this portion of it, no. As long as this right here stays on, we should be live.
You want to test it? Yeah, I'll pull up the YouTube and we can test it. Because now
we are going out on a limb and testing shit today. So if we do disappear, we will be back. I promise. When you turn the volume down.
Yeah, it's definitely a little clippy. The picture does look fucking better, though.
All right, we're going to try. Let me close this tab and see.
Casey's here. What's up, my brother from another mother?
All right, we're going to close this tab down. If we disappear, we will be back.
Promise.
All right. Closing it down. Okay, all right. We'll see if we go. Yeah, because look at that. That even looks a little bit better.
A little bit.
Yeah, so I think maybe we fix it off. If that disappears, and you can read comments through your phone. So.
Oh, yeah. I can handle the comments and shit.
All right. So, but tonight we're doing true crime. We are talking about the Villisca Axe murders, which is a weird freaking story in and among itself. You don't steal my notes. Don't steal the notes. Okay. Back in, well, hold on. Before we get started, do we got anything we want to talk about? I mean, like, subscribe, share, all that happy shit, but...
I don't know.
No. Boy, this is...
I had Waffle House at like 3 o'clock in the morning the other day. That was a fucking bad idea.
Oh, Friday night?
It was so good.
When I was having my 3 a.m. rendezvous with a homeless person who caught us out there earlier.
That fucking heifer.
Well, God, I mean, it's...
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the update in my life. Waffle House is both the worst and best decision anybody's ever made ever. It is a little better. It looks a little better.
Hopefully.
I think we got to work our way up to a better computer, I think, is the main thing.
Yes.
But that's all in due time.
Well,
if people would, subscribe, maybe buy a t-shirt or join the Patreon.
Yeah.
All these things is going into the funds to improve the podcast. I'm just saying.
You mean not fund my drinking habit?
Well, first off, I haven't gotten any money from the podcast because I'm on the team of put it all back into the podcast.
Exactly.
But even if I had been handed money, I would just buy some shit on Amazon because also update, we will be revamping the backdrop.
Yes, here we got a name. What's this? What should we call the studio?
The Getting It In Studio, GITN.
Getting it in. Yes. I like it. Ooh, I'm getting text now. Happy joy. It's live.
The Fat Cave. Dude, we get a fucking sign that says the Fat Cave.
Oh shit, we are clipping like them. Turn you
It's
down.
gonna be okay, everybody. Yeah, why did we get? We were not. I was not reading that high before. This is podcasting, everyone. This is what happens.
This is what happens. Especially when you do it live. See,
yeah, we're not on all that. I love like Joe Rogan's dope and Fighter and the Kid are dope, but we don't have Chins and young Jamies around here to fucking. Well, we got plenty of Chins, but like
we got more chins. Well, never mind.
Hi, Casey.
Yeah. So, we are going to redo the studio here, make it a little bit more visually appealing since we are focusing a little bit more on the video side of this.
I wouldn't even say that. I think we're just focusing. Like, I think we're just taking it more seriously in general.
Yeah, but let's be honest with ourselves. Do they really need any more than just us?
I'll take my shirt off right the fuck now.
How many listeners? How many?
We've got 4, I believe. I think that means.
Can we turn this live stream into a fans only thing?
And the next thing you know, there's just fucking double chins and man tits left and right.
We are. Let's go ahead and get started. But
all right,
subscribe, hit the like button, just share it. Sharing is the most important thing in this because we want to grow this podcast and grow this YouTube channel, and we need your help to do it because we're stupid. But
yes, money bags.
We
money
are
bag yo.
We're going to do some true crime,
Casey,
murder porn.
No, we do not accept Bitcoin at this time, unless you actually have Bitcoin. If you have I will take 1 Bitcoin. Yes, of course.
Well, it's up to what, 6, or is it 600 or 60,000? I think
last time I saw it, I think it was like 160,000 or some shit like that.
Yeah, but tonight we are talking not about Bitcoin.
No.
Not about Pornhub. Well, I'm sure we will eventually. But we are talking the Villisca axe murders, which happened on June 9th to 10th, somewhere around that.
Yeah. They said like the time is obviously not exact, but
right
around midnight-ish, the night of June 9th going into June
the 10th. Way back in 1912.
The year that the Titanic sank.
Was that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So
people were getting killed by axes and people were drowning and freezing, becoming little Leonardo DiCaprio.
While these people were getting the axe, the Titanic was getting the axe.
But it was a family of 6 that got killed, plus 2 house guests, 2 little girls spending the night. Which why I never allowed I hated my girls spending the night.
Mom,
anywhere.
Dad, 4 kids, 2 young friends.
2 young girlfriends were murdered in their home after going to church, which is funny how that happens.
Yeah, right. Jesus saves. Apparently fucking not.
But the murders have been unsolved for...
nobody's been like accused. Well, people have been accused. Nobody's been sentenced or whatever the fucking word is here.
But Villisca is in Iowa. At this time back in 1912, I'm assuming it was a pretty small town.
I mean, it's Iowa. I feel like they still are.
Right. But
I mean, how many? The University of Iowa, they have like 17 kids on their football team. Play both sides of the ball.
Probably.
Plus 3 kickers.
3 kickers?
Yeah, because they were all soccer players in high school, but their parents had money. Because does Iowa have a soccer team?
I don't know.
I know they got a wrestling team. Their women's, I believe their women's beach volleyball team is ranked.
There's not a ocean anywhere. Last time I checked,
that's what
my
I'm
geography
saying.
is a little fuzzy. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I do not believe Iowa has an
I don't
ocean.
know. With it, women's beach volleyball was on fucking TV when I was at the bar before this.
Right. But
doing my due diligence with that job as well.
It's a small town. At the time of the murders, roughly 2,000 to 2,500 people lived there, which I would think actually that's not that small.
Yeah, back then in Iowa, I feel like that was like they were a bustling fucking suburb
of metropolis.
Yeah, that was the future is here.
Now, every person that lived or the people who lived in the house, the 2 houses, they were all murdered. They were killed with an axe, which is kind of interesting how that played out, and we'll get to that a little bit. But actually, we'll get to it now. Sarah Moore, who was the mama, she was the only one that was actually cut with.
No, it was. I
thought it was
JB or Joe, the dad.
No, Joe.
What I saw.
Here's what I found out. Josiah, or whatever the
Josiah.
whatever his name was.
Josiah B. Moore, a.k.a. Joe, a.k.a. JB.
One person, from what my research said, they actually had cuts and like they got hit with the sharp end of the axe.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was bludgeoned to death with the blunt end.
Yeah, what I saw, that it was Joe that actually caught the blade, and everybody else was bludgeoned.
Well, because the thing that I saw and read said that he was so. It said Josiah was so badly beaten that the only thing was left was his jaw, the upper jaw. Everything from his upper, like from here up, or from the upper jaw up, was flat. He just had a jaw. That's what I read. Fucking internet.
That's fucking gnarly.
Can't trust it. But
cool as fuck is what it is.
they were all
Dark, but cool.
They were whoever did. One person got slashed, like a slasher movie. The other person, everybody else got beaten.
I mean, realistically, by that point, they all got bludgeoned.
Right.
I don't give a shit if there's a blade on that shit or not.
Exactly. But this crime scene or this murder, however you want to,
This fucking shit show.
right? It was weird. There's some weird shit that went on.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is I'll get into it because as we went over, I've got like 7 pages of notes on this, but it's not as... It's weird, but it's not quite as unique as one would think.
Well, but there were some weird things that investigators
Even within
found.
that.
But like,
I'll get into it. Like, given this time period in this area of the United States,
okay,
there's a lot going on.
I'll kind of go through hit some hot topics, and then if you want to jump in, and then but we'll hopefully dive deeper with some of your
because I can literally go from the day before the evening of the murder on. I've got starting from the morning of the day before this was discovered.
Let me hit some of these topics, and then you jump in.
Hit it
one
from behind.
Is there any other way? Well, there is, but I mean, where are you going to put
the flying trapeze?
where are you going to put the beer and pizza? Jesus. No, a sexual connotation. We're going to get. Trust me, that lady, she's going to like tonight because I'm going to get to some.
There's no way she does not listen anymore because we offered her a fucking free T-shirt and she never emailed us. I don't. Even
she's probably watching.
I hope so.
She's
well,
just
hit us up
ashamed.
for your T-shirt because that gives us a reason to fucking have an order. Because up to this point, I don't even have any of our merchandise.
We're gonna get you one. Trust me. But the weird things that the investigator, inspectors, whatever they called them back then, found was all the mirrors were covered up.
Yes,
and the house
and the windows.
Now that's kind of weird. Just from the fact, was this mirrors are kind of in the paranormal world? People say mirrors are portals.
Yeah.
So was this?
Oh, and then there's also the argument of like somebody just not wanting to see themselves committing that act or to have the chance of, because that I feel like that has something to do with like how they were beaten to death.
Right.
Like they were beaten basically beyond recognition. You know what I mean? Like you just don't want to see anybody at that point. Clearly.
Now, another thing that I saw was which I got a kick out of. The
axe about to get dark.
The axe that recovered at the scene, the murder weapon, was partially wiped down.
Yeah, like they did a piss poor job of trying to clean it.
But this was 1912.
Mm-hmm.
How good was Did they have CSI? No. How?
They actually did have a fingerprint expert.
Really?
Come in. And when he rolled into town on the train, he basically fell off the train because he was shitty-faced drunk and basically was like, I'm going to need a day. We'll start tomorrow.
we'll get it tomorrow. But so I found that kind of weird.
Yeah.
That the guy...
I still find it weird that there was fucking fingerprint experts in 1912.
But there was axe marks on the ceiling.
Oh, your mom's in here.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Be good. Hello, Mother. Happy Mother's Day. We should...
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers
out there
that are watching
and
listening and whatever.
To everybody that loves their mother, Happy Mother's Day to them.
Yes.
Happy
Mother's Day to all the mothers.
I hope my mother is feeling better because I was going to go visit my mother today, but she called me and said she wasn't feeling well. We'll do it next weekend.
She had the poops.
No, I think her arthritis is acting up. I don't think it's any gastrointestinal problems, but
she had the poops and then she got stuck because of the arthritis. She
couldn't
get off the toilet.
I don't think so.
So that she just DoorDashed a bunch of Skyline and just kept it moving. Had him bring it to the window.
No,
just keep it rolling.
I just think she didn't feel good and I didn't go up. So we're going to do it next weekend. So happy Mother's Day to my mother, to all the mothers out there.
Not to Casey Anthony though.
No, because she's a shitty mom.
Or that bitch in Middletown.
Oh yeah.
Oh God! I just watched that EOS episode on YouTube about that. Oh, good. Just string them both up by their toes and beat them to death. Fuck them both. God, that pissed me off.
Now, and we're going to get to some more weird shit here regarding the case.
Yes.
I'm sure you're going to talk a little bit about the marksman.
Oh yeah, I've got.
Okay. We won't dive too much into that.
Of handwritten notes on this.
But one thing I want to hit on, they found the two girls
you
that
can see my book of knowledge on the screen. Don't steal my secrets.
Yes, don't steal. But the two house guests that were spending the night, one of them was found half off the bed with her.
That was, I believe
Ina,
that was.
Ina?
Was that Lena or Ina?
I think it was Ina. I think Ina was the one with the nightgown up above her waist. Underwear was under the bed.
No, yeah, she didn't have anything on under that.
Right.
Bloody knees, and she was one of the only ones that showed evidence of a defensive wound.
Right. And there was some wrapped bacon found with those two girls.
A 2-pound slab of bacon.
2 pound
wrapped in a washcloth, which.
And we're going to talk about it. It gets weird, and we're going to talk about that bacon a lot.
Well, there's also, I don't know why it's relevant, but there's also a slab of bacon in the ice box. Like, duh. Where the fuck else would that bacon be?
Well, he didn't steal all the bacon?
It's 2021.
Go fuck yourself. We're not getting into that shit right now. So that was weird, and we're going to talk about the bacon. But there was apparently, with how, I think it was Ina, how she was found, there was no signs of sexual assault.
No.
Which, once again, 1912. How knowledgeable were they in sexual assault?
Yeah, I thought about that, and I kind of looked into it a little bit. It was a little uncomfortable because we're dealing with it's a kid.
A kid, yeah.
But being that she was like an 8-year-old kid, it would have been pretty apparent if there was some type of a sexual assault.
Maybe.
It was Hitler.
It was Hitler. No, but that is kind of weird. When we talk about the bacon, a little foreshadowing, it might explain some shit.
Meat.
Let's see, like bacon. I think that's another interesting thing that I found out about this case for 1912. Earlier in this podcast, we talked about how women love their true crime. They love their murder porn.
# murder porn.
The word of this murder spread like wildfire.
Oh yeah,
and
because I get into that, there's a lot of fuckery with the after time of this.
From what I researched, the crowd beat the coroner there.
Yeah.
And those some bitches just went right on through the crime scene.
Yeah.
Just walking in saying, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Like it was a house of horrors.
Like to the point that, while the cops and shit were like shooing people out the front door, there was more coming in the back door.
I mean, hey,
I guess I said that wasn't uncommon back then.
Well, think about it. You see it, you're on the interstate. You see a car wreck.
Yeah.
What do? You slow the fuck down and look. Everybody does it.
I just Dale Earnhardt my shit into that car. I go, oh, there it is. Goodbye, world.
But this takes it to a new level.
Yeah. That
they beat the coroner there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I guess phones were, starting to really catch on. And had the operator, somebody told the operator, and there's a kind of like a send all button back in the day with phones. Somebody hit send all and just said, "Hey, murder at this address."
Mm-hmm.
Flash mob, let's go. What? Well,
it's baby Thor.
Is he on the...
Mm-hmm.
What are you shaking your head at?
Because he's calling me.
Oh,
he's at work right now.
Oh, baby Thor, quit calling. You need to take the call. It's work related. I will hold down and do some sponsorships.
If you want to.
If you want to go take a call. We can.
Bear with me. I love you. Sorry.
Baby Thor.
Like I said earlier, subscribe to the Patreon and shit, because the job that pays me is calling.
Yes. Yeah, but this is very interesting, and Travis will be back shortly after he takes care of business. So what do I want to talk about while he's off?
Rex says ain't no raccoon for
No, we have no raccoon sponsorships this go around. So Mother's Day. I hope I can't even see the freaking live stream. Let me get on YouTube, and maybe I will look at that. Ooh, I'm getting texts out the yin yang. But I do not. What the hell? What am I doing? I do not understand why women like true crime so much. Those are the most popular podcasts. Why is that? Tell me. Leave it a comment. What is it about murder that tickles your fancy? Let's see if I can get into the comment section of this. Uh-oh. I don't want a free month trial. God damn, quit trying to sell me shit. You're my channel. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, let's look at some of these comments. I don't want to put my glasses on. My mother's telling me to put my glasses on. Jeez, they're out in the car anyway. Oh, Breezy, since Travis and I was talking about that little EVP you sent us, that was very interesting from your investigation on or at Ohio State Reformatory. Like Travis said, I'd like to hear the whole clip, and next time we talk, let me know the scenario that you were in at that particular time so I kind of know who was there. But it was a fascinating clip. I liked it. Uh-oh, more comments. Listen to my mom. Thank you. I will definitely listen to my mom. But, well, somebody tell me why murder is so fascinating to you ladies. That is what I want to know. Because murder, I mean, you would think murder would be one of the last things you'd want to talk about. But, just like in 1912, people show up to murders. And I find it very interesting that this particular murder, you know, how advanced were, and I'm sure Travis will get into this, how advanced were their criminal investigating skills? I mean, science, you know, we've made vast advances in science, so a lot of people walk free, and that might be one of the reasons why this is actually unsolved. Been unsolved for what, 119 years or whatever. Don't do math on a podcast. But that is very interesting. All right, you go ahead and send that to me. But that, you know, for the crowd to beat the coroner there, it obviously tampered with the evidence. So, but like I said, how advanced was their technology or their knowledge in science? You know, so the murders really did anything important?
A little bit.
Uh-oh.
Nothing that can't be.
The bar burning down.
No, nothing that can't be controlled until I can get there. I'm no rush.
This is live podcasting.
Yeah. Welcome to the illustrious world of podcasting.
Guess what? This is going to be cut out of the feed for tomorrow. But that's beside the point. Now, where were we? What were we talking about? Okay, let's just go ahead and get into it.
Okay. So,
what do you got?
We were talking about the Villisca Hacks house murder,
yes,
as we said. If you're curious, this is public record. It's at 508 2nd Street in Villisca, Ohio. Still there.
Villisca, Iowa or Ohio?
Fuck me.
Yes.
God damn it. Now I'm not in the zone. Hold on.
Baby Thor screwed it up for you.
Tip of the tongue, teeth, and the lips. All right. So, here we go. So around midnight, the night of June 9th going into June 10th, somebody or somebodies went into the house of the Moore family, which was made up of Josiah B. Moore, or Joe, or JB.
It's a shame.
Several.
It's a shame that Josiah hasn't really stuck around. That'd
right?
Be awesome.
I'm naming my first son Josiah.
Yeah, that kid's going to get his ass kicked a lot.
Nah, he's my kid. He'll be all right.
Well, after a while, yeah, but it takes a while to train.
Teach him how to keister a knife, and we're good to go.
Yes, okay. Go ahead.
Put it in the old prison pocket. So, Joe Moore, Sarah Moore, his wife, their sons Boyd, Paul, and Herman, and their daughter Catherine.
And then you got Catherine.
And then you got Lena and Ina Stillinger. So, we'll start with the day before, because that's how far back my shit went.
Okay.
So, the day before they were discovered dead, Sunday, June 9th, Joe and Sarah took their kids to the Children's Day service at the Presbyterian Church in town, accompanied by Ina and Lena Stillinger, who stayed the night with them that night. Which makes me wonder, what kind of regrets do you think that Mom and Dad Stillinger have in their life at this point?
One thing that I heard, or I watched a video, it said the parents didn't even know. They left word, or they called the family. Mm-hmm. I guess there was an older sister. So yeah, that's fine. I'll tell Mom and Paul.
I'll tell Mom and Paul that Ina and Lena are fucking dead.
That girl got her ass beat, I guarantee it.
She's probably dead too.
Well, yeah, it's 1912. Of course.
We can make another one. I told you we should have thrown her down the river when she was born. She had a weird crooked eye. Yeah.
But
stupid heifer. Okay, so that day they walked to this lovely place, and then they walked back. It was 3 blocks from the church to their home.
Yeah.
So they went on a little family stroll the 3 blocks back home, where they enjoyed cookies and milk before bedtime.
Which was what, 9 o'clock?
I mean, my whole thing is like, what's the point? It didn't say.
Okay.
But my whole thing is like, first off, at least they were doing one thing right. I'm assuming they had whole milk. Fuck everything else. Ooh. And second, I don't really see the point in having cookies and milk in 1912 because they didn't have Oreos, let alone double stuffed, let alone mega stuffed.
Really? Oreos, most overrated cookie on the planet.
Not with milk.
Yes.
No, they're the best with milk.
No. We're going to agree to disagree.
Chocolate chips, all right.
We're going to agree to disagree, and you're wrong.
I mean, realistically, like if you're a real human being, you eat white chocolate chip macadamia nut cookies. They're the best.
No nuts.
But I'm weird. Like I like fucking oatmeal raisin.
Okay, you are weird.
Yeah,
I can't even look at you right now.
Snickerdoodles, whatever. Anyway.
Continue.
Anyway, so that night it all went normal, and they went to the church and they had their milk and cookies, and then they went home, and sometime after midnight somebody snuck in the house and beat the holy fuck out of all of them with an axe. Josiah's axe, actually.
Got killed with his own axe?
Yeah.
Be thankful chainsaws weren't around. You could have got messy.
Well, yeah, but like if we want to get really morbid here, it would have been better if it was a chainsaw. Because then somebody would have woke up. Which I question how nobody fucking woke up throughout all this. Somebody went through. I say he, but nobody's been charged for this shit. You went through and whacked the fuck out of 8 people to death, and nobody woke up. You would assume he had to start. I would hope you start with the parents, because those are the ones you have to worry about the most.
Right.
The kids, you could just fucking whack them one good time and they knock out, and then you drag them wherever you want to kill them.
It's not uncommon though. Amityville Horror, all those gunshots.
Right. Like, is there like a pillow over the head technique for axes?
But this is where the paranormal steps in.
Yeah, I mean that's
there has to be a reason why. Besides, he just didn't want to see himself killing these people.
Right.
Why he covered the mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Because that's not uncommon. You know what I mean? Like that happens. There's multiple stories about murders or massacres or whatever it is, and like all the mirrors are either broken or covered. Right. They even did it in Red Dragon, which Red Dragon was the coolest rendition of it. How he broke all the mirrors and he put slivers of the mirrored glass in people's eyes. That shit was cool. Yuck. Yeah, I mean, dark as fuck, but that was cool as shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, so somebody went in there around midnight and beat the fuck out of 8 people until they were dead with an axe. Okay. And because, it's fucking Iowa in 1912. What the fuck else are you going to do with your night?
Yeah, it's kind of boring. I mean, but if I'm going to go, I want my last meal to be milk and cookies. I'd die a happy man.
I have other ideas, but... it's okay. Live your life.
Sexual connotation. I
know. So yeah. So then that leads us to the day of the discovery of this. Don't get me wrong. Like, I make my jokes and everything. Hey, this was grisly and fucking horrific.
Who says our fan base is not knowledgeable?
Why?
Oreos came out in 1912. Huh.
Wait, what?
Apparently Oreos came out in 1912.
Who said that? Oh, you're ahead of me.
Hey, I'm on it.
You're ahead of me. Why is mine so slow? I don't like it.
We have knowledgeable. See, adding to the podcast, we are an abundance of knowledge. If we don't know it,
Yeah, I mean,
the listeners know it.
that's good to know. But did they have them in Iowa?
They had cornfields.
That's what I'm saying. Did the Villisca, Iowa General Store carry Oreos?
Probably not.
And you would think 1912, why would they have Oreos? You wouldn't think that they would be cool with black stuff being that close to white stuff.
Really? Really? God. Oh,
I'm just saying.
God, you just... Well, been fun. It's been real all.
I'm not saying me or you. I'm just saying people in Iowa in 1912, I would imagine, even though it's north of the Mason-Dixon line, probably not the most accepting people.
I don't know. I was not around 1912.
I mean, it's basically like a bunch of fucking, like, what is it? Like converted Amish and children of the corn.
True.
Okay, so
and
anyway.
Kevin Costner building baseball fields.
Yeah.
Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. Nowhere close to heaven. I've been to Iowa.
And then you just put in fucking James Earl Jones for no goddamn reason.
All right, continue.
Simba. So that leads us to the next day. Around 7:30 in the morning, which, you know, rural Iowa, fucking lazy bitches, that's a late start. The neighbor, Mary Peckham. She, I like that name. I don't know why.
Peckham.
You got to say it, Peckham. She noticed that the
Don't like 'em,
Morehouse.
peck 'em.
If you can't peck 'em, join 'em. I don't fucking know. She noticed that it was just still. There wasn't anything going on at the house. So she went over there, checked, knocked on the door, shit like that. Nothing. Just assumed that Mary was not feeling well. Joe was at work. The kids were doing whatever fucking kids did in 1912. I don't know. Fucking chickens or like
Milking cows.
I guess. I don't know. Like, go to school. Like, okay, here we go. We're going to have all the grades in the same school, and we're just going to learn the same thing.
You're telling the story. I got the chats. I'll let you.
Okay, then I'm closing my phone then. All right. So she went over there and just assumed that Mary wasn't feeling well. The kids were wherever the fucking kids go in 1912 at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning to school to learn their ABCs from the age of 7 to fucking 18.
7 to age of 8.
Yeah, and God told us to make A's this way because so what is she was a good neighbor though. She decided to go into the back and let the chickens out of the barn.
Right.
So she did that.
It's
so
helpful.
Good job, Mary. And then Mary called Joe's brother Ross. Just, you know, because that's what
Josiah and Ross.
Yeah, right. He had another brother. I can't remember his name. Ross arrived around 8.
Chandler.
Yeah. Ross arrives at their house around 8 and starts, you know, knocking on the door, knocking on the windows, walking around the house. Then he comes back on the porch to inform Mary that he saw 2 small bodies inside, covered by sheets with dark stains on them. He says, somebody got the murdering.
And then what I heard, used his key to go in.
Right?
Why the fuck were you knocking?
Yeah, you go to your brother's fucking house with which you have a key to, and you're knocking on doors and windows and walking around the whole... No, you just go in, you fucking smack his dog, you eat the rest of his breakfast that's sitting in front of him, and then, like, you fart in his fucking coffee, like, because he's your brother.
Right.
I don't care if it's 1912. Brotherly love does not change. So, anyway, that happens. I don't know why he didn't just fucking walk in. So, after Ross discovers this, he calls Joe's hardware store a hardware store. I don't know why hardware store is technically in there, because I believe what he had was an implement company, which he may have had a hardware store also, but an implement company I looked up is they sell farm equipment.
Okay.
They still call them that to this day, I believe. So he calls Joe's hardware store to, I wrote it down, to hail an employee.
Hail?
That's how they wrote it, yeah.
Hail.
Or some shit like that. I don't know. But his name was Ed Selly, I believe. Was how you would say it? Selly. So Ed Selly, and told him to go fetch the Marshal Hank Horton. Bobby.
The inspector.
Bobby, give me my gun and my badge. There's been a murdering at the house.
You know, but here's the thing. lawman back then. 1912 is not that far away from the Wild West days.
No.
You know, the
No, shit was still like
they were still a little, you know, they were still a little crazy.
Well, and here's I wrote it down. Here's one of my things. So you went to get her brother. You called the brother. The brother comes over, fucks off for an extra 30 minutes, not going into the house. Stupid. And then he calls Ed Selly to go get old Hank. Why the fuck didn't you just call the marshal's office or whatever they had? Like, is the marshal the most important person in town? Arguably the only person that apparently doesn't have a fucking phone.
Well, you know, it's 1912.
Yeah, I guess.
New technology.
Well, because it comes back to the pollution of the crime scene, because it's like small town areas back then.
I don't know
fucking
exactly
common.
when the telephone was invented.
Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. I don't know. I know it was Alexander.
Obviously, it was pretty newer technology, right? We could say a few years old.
Mm-hmm. They still probably, I feel like they still had the super dope Andy Griffith phones where you hit it. Yeah, Q phone ain't B for me.
So new technology. Think about old people on the internet.
Yeah. Or me.
Or, you know.
Like, neither of us are really that proficient with all this shit.
No, I mean.
I say all the time.
Look at the live stream. It's jumpy.
The picture is very clear, though.
Yes, it looks good.
It is a trash
We look very sharp.
Yeah, we got to work that out. There's got to be some kind of like transfer bit rate thing. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So anyway, Hank arrived. Hank the marshal. Hank arrived around 8:30 and found somebody, as he said, somebody murdered in every bed. Right. That's what he told Ross, after the brother of Joe. Or JB, whatever, so after going in there. Because it's like, let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not be like, Ross, wait a minute. I'm really sorry. I need to tell you this. Your whole family's dead. You couldn't do that. It's just like, is there somebody dead in every bed? That's just, I ain't never seen that shit.
How much of a candy ass was Ross? Go to his brother's house. Something's obviously wrong. Sees two bodies.
He
didn't check the rest of the fucking house?
Right. Well, no, I guess he, like, once he discovered that, like, anybody was dead, he was like, we got to get old Hank down here. Once Hank's on the scene.
This is your kin.
I mean, what do you want
especially the kids
do?
in the house. You know the kids are upstairs in the bedroom. Run your ass up there and check on the kids. You know, you see two dead bodies. He was a puss. He's a pussy.
Or go get that baseball card back from your brother from when you were kids.
No,
Piece of shit.
I mean, and obviously whatever, Mary or whatever her name was. Tell Mary
Peckham?
Mary Peckham. Peck your ass on down and get.
I know. I find it funny that Mary Peckham let the chickens out. Who let the chickens out? Mary.
But
Mary,
he didn't
Mary
go check on the
Peckham.
kids. He basically
I feel like you just assume that the kids are probably dead at that point. They're either gone or they're dead because you don't hear them and you don't see them.
No.
And I personally, as dark as it might sound, I would much rather go see. Oh, no. Because Ina and Lena, I believe, were the ones that he found.
I thought they were on the bed because
they were on the bottom. They were on the first floor,
but in a bedroom. Because I heard the one that had the panties gone and up. She was half on the bed and half off the bed. So was
but they were asleep on. They slept on the first floor.
Well,
I believe everybody else was on the second floor. Because it is a two-story house. It's actually a nice little house. I've seen pictures of it.
His nieces and nephews are in that house. Yeah. Something's wrong. He sees two dead bodies. Take your ass up and find out what the. That's the first thing I do.
Right. No. We just kick doors in, like, drop your cocks and grab your socks. Let's go.
What is this?
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. But, like, I do think, like, I'm not a fan of how Hank told him that. Like, you could have found a way less fucking frigid way to break that news to somebody.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Right. But, other than that, before all this shit, you know, they found the axe. Axe was left downstairs in a bedroom, shittily cleaned off, in the room where the Stillinger girls were killed. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming they were last.
With the bacon.
Yes, we'll get to the bacon.
We're getting to the bacon. I want to get to the bacon.
Along with the bacon, there was also a plate of uneaten food on the kitchen table, a basin of water that he had used, whoever used to clean their hands, bloody water.
It was a man.
I would think so.
Well,
or at least I call me crazy. I feel like there's more than one. Because that's a lot of bodies to knock out without somebody waking up and causing some kind of a problem.
A, they're kids.
Yeah.
B, the only male in the house, or adult male, is named Josiah.
I mean, I guess.
Not the toughest son of a bitch on the planet.
Oh, here we go. There we go. We're on to the bacon.
Oh, let's get to
my
the
next
bacon.
fact.
Oh, I love the bacon.
Left a 4-pound slab of bacon next to the axe. Like,
went to all that work to get the bacon.
Did
killing
you
people
see?
and
That's
forgot the bacon.
See, that's my. I've solved the case. What happened was, this guy needed some bacon in his life. He was like, I got a lick. I know this family that's got a 4-pound slab of bacon. He went in there, handled his business, and then he forgot the goddamn bacon.
No, we know why he didn't take the bacon. Let's get to that. Because that bacon was used and abused. Let's talk to it.
You tell me.
I heard a story. Now, I don't know if this is official.
That he was beating his meat on the meat?
He used the bacon instead of sexually assaulting and raping the little girls, which he showed restraint. He sodomized the bacon.
Can you sodomize bacon?
I don't know. I just wanted to use the word.
Does bacon have a butthole?
But apparently he used it as an artificial.
That should be a song. What if God was one of us? What if bacon had a butthole?
The actual verbiage that I heard when I he used the bacon as an artificial vagina.
That's a pocket pussy.
1912 version of Fleshlight.
I'm trying to think of a good pork.
But hey, what's the one thing that would cause you to leave bacon? American Pie.
He needed to relieve some pressure. He had to unswind after a long, hard night's of killing.
Yeah.
Suck it.
But
barring the horrific nature of what's going on, that's the weirdest part of the whole thing. Dude's out here fucking bacon.
Right. But that explains why he left it. Nobody leaves bacon just for no reason. They don't
only time I'm fucking... Yeah, bacon's delicious. I eat bacon. It's amazing. I'll put it on stuff. I ain't fucking... The only bacon I'm fucking is Kevin. And he's gonna be dressed... He's gonna wear the exact same outfit that he wore as Valentine in Tremors.
I figured you were going to go Animal House. I figured you'd go young Kevin. No. You're going Footloose, Kevin. I know you.
I guess. I mean, Footloose, Kevin, Dirty Dancing, fucking Patrick Swayze. That was Patrick Swayze, wasn't it?
That was Patrick Swayze. Don't defile Dirty. Of course, Dirty Dancing is the worst movie of all time.
I don't know about that. It's not a very good one, but I don't know if it's the worst movie of all time.
For one, Patrick Swayze is way too hot for Jennifer Grey. There's no way he'd be tapping.
Oh yeah, like if I was gonna fuck a dude, Patrick Swayze would probably be on my list, especially back then. Maybe not later on in life. He got a little.
I mean, that's just shitty casting.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody equally as attractive.
And it was the '80s. Get Molly Ringwald or some shit.
Oh, no. It's '80s. Phoebe Cates.
Sure. Did you see who died? Tanya Harding? I think Tanya Harding. Was she the chick on the car in the fucking music video? Tawny Katane? I think so.
Tanya Harding's the one that smacked the ice figure straight in the knee.
Oh, yeah.
Psycho bitch.
Yeah, I think Tawny Katane died.
Oh, that's a sad day.
Somebody died.
I have to go mourn. With bacon.
I was going to say, you're going to have to go, I don't know where to get a 4-pound slab of bacon this late on a Sunday, but good luck. So yeah, he was fucking bacon.
Okay, let's get back on track.
Other evidence we already talked about. He raided all the dresser drawers for clothes or anything he could use to cover the mirrors and stuff. Why are you so creaky all of a sudden? I can't wait to replace you. Patreon. All the victims were found in their beds, covered by the sheets, and shit. They were all fucking smashed in the fucking noggin 20 or 30 times, which is excessive, which is like weird. It's almost like a crime of passion because he killed the shit out of everybody. Like, you think an 8-year-old girl, you crack her one good time with the blunt end of an axe, she's probably done.
He was an overachiever. He made sure the job was done.
Well, it's like you said. There's literally gouge marks in the ceiling from where the blade was hitting from his upswings.
I did read... I read one article that actually said one expert did not think that was from the actual murders. He went crazy afterwards, just started swinging it around, which
I didn't see that, but that can come into play with suspicions later with one of the suspects that I have.
Right. But
you'll know as soon as I say it.
But if you think about it, he bashed him with the blunt end, upswing, the sharp end's up, so it would hit that. You would think. I don't know.
And there's also something with one of the. I don't know even know if I wrote this down because I heard it on. Shout out, Brohio. Something about one of the main suspects was left-handed, and forensic studies done on the case or on scene said that the person that was wielding that axe was left-handed. Like they did like a mimicking of it, and like it wouldn't have made sense for a right-handed person to hit the roof in that way, standing next to a bed at that, you know what I mean, without being at an unnatural angle. But then the next thing I have is the really unfortunate and sad part of the Lena Stillinger thing.
Okay.
It was Lena, apparently. That's what I have written.
With the
that was like, I this shit doesn't fucking bother me, but when you start talking about like the fact that somebody even considered sexually assaulting a fucking, like, I think she was either 8 or 12-year-old girl before or after they're gonna smash her fucking head in with an axe. That's where Travie gets a little uncomfortable. That's where not even uncomfortable. I get more pissed that I can't go into 1912 and just grab the axe out of his hands and just shove it up his fucking asshole, blade first.
But what's weird about, listen, whoever did this was obviously out of his mind, batshit crazy. Right?
Yeah.
You have to be a little fucked up to kill somebody.
He's some type of a psychopath or fucking something.
What's weird, you would think somebody that demented
wouldn't have
he'd have a lot
the thought process to not just go all the way and just say, oh fuck, I don't care if it's a little girl.
Right. It's kind of weird. Did he develop morals all of a sudden? I mean, I don't know how the mind works. I'm not a criminologist. I don't work for the FBI.
But it's like if you're willing to go in and kill 8 people, I mean, if
you think
in that
nothing's
fashion,
off the table.
like
you would think nothing is off the table.
You're already bashing the girl's head in. Like you would think somebody crazy enough to do that wouldn't think twice about doing what is to me, like I said, the most uncomfortable and fucked up part of the whole thing if it were to happen.
But I find that weird.
Yeah. So and she was, like I said, one of the only ones that showed any like defensive wounds overall, which kind of threw me off a little bit. Let me see. Do I want to jump around here? Do I have any little last minute shit?
Oh, no, we got plenty of time. We're early, man.
What time is it? How long have we been going?
Probably 45 minutes.
Oh,
we got all kinds of time.
I feel like I was gonna say we should. I'd say we break into the our opinions on all that shit in the Patreon.
Okay, yeah.
We are doing a Patreon this week, right?
Yeah, we'll do one. What the hell?
A little bit of one. So
not that you some bitches ain't paying. Thank you to
Sydney and who else?
I think my mother's a patron.
Hey. So that's the overall essential rundown of our scenario here, I guess.
But hold on. Let's get into that's the crime. Let's get into some of the after stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I have more.
Okay.
Because my next topic is the suspects.
Okay, yeah, because that's fascinating.
I have several. Because there's more than I have listed, which I'll touch on because I don't know them by name, but I'll touch on them because it's just dust in the wind. You're my boy, Blue. It's like just bullshit. So the first one that popped up on mine, which is not my favorite one, but a lot of these you can really tell the 1912 thought process of stuff.
Right.
So the first one that popped up on my screens was Reverend Lynn George Jacqueline Kelly. First off, fuck you for having 4 names. Second, fuck you for your name being Lynn George Jacqueline Kelly. And Jacqueline was spelled Jacklin. Yeah.
Okay.
Jack Offlin. So, Reverend Kelly arrived in Villisca the Sunday of that children's service.
How convenient.
And attended it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one. He left town on the 5 train the morning of the murders at 5:19 a.m.
How convenient.
Yes. He allegedly told other travelers that there were 8 dead souls back in Villisca, butchered to death in their beds while they slept. He supposedly said this to other travelers.
Maybe God told him.
Well, and this could be chalked up a lot to the whole
word traveled so fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you fucking hooker. Anyway, he returned back to Villisca 2 weeks later, posed as a detective, and toured the house with a group of investigators. Yeah.
So
because that's not fucked up and weird.
So the murderer came back to the scene of the crime.
You could also chalk that up to what we were talking about earlier, with there was a lot of pollution and corruption of the crime scene, because I guess back in that day when crazy shit went down like that, everybody was there because that's the biggest thing going on in town.
Exactly, 1912. They didn't have.
Dude, I read that they were in, like, there were people going in there and like touching stuff and like literally like picking up brain fragments and shit and keeping them, because this was a time when like people had weird collections of stuff. Like they'd have animals and formaldehyde and shit like that. It wasn't uncommon.
1912, spiritualism was still prevalent. I mean, still taking off.
Yeah,
and it started back in the.
I want to know if anybody fucked around and took that bacon and ate it.
They had a salty surprise.
It's just like the fucking movie Magic Mike.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Hold on. Cover the camera. Yes.
It's fucking, I don't care. It's funny. I thought it was funny. When he came in after that party, he said, how pregnant you get that girl's mouth last night?
Fluffy's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. I was shocked at how funny that movie was. He said, nobody's too cool for a sandbar party. But anyway, yeah, because that's not. But if you didn't do it, what is your thought process behind going in there and pretending to be a detective? Right. When, as we already know, it wasn't like a closed off fucking scene. Right. It wasn't a hard place to get into.
And let's face it, preachers can be a little shady.
Oh, yeah. You want to hear why I know that?
Especially traveling preachers who don't have a congregation.
Well, he was already crazy anyway. Like, but he was known to, like, talk to himself and mutters things and, like, drool excessively.
Well, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, I think he was... But, anyway, it's a perfect example of some people being a little fucking weird. Reverend Kelly had previously been convicted of sending obscene material via mail. So what I'm saying is, yes, ye old dick pic. He was sending dick pics. Like, what else could it be? Butthole pics, maybe.
But hold on, were they drawn?
That's what I was gonna say. I would hope so. It makes it way more personal.
Yes, and plus you can lie, make it bigger than what it really is.
Yeah, you make your butthole not so brown.
No more raccoons, damn it! We've covered enough raccoons. And
they found 2 adult raccoons in Josiah's asshole.
No.
While they performed, there wasn't even an autopsy. They just crawled their way out like that old rat torture they used to do.
Let me say this. Listen,
but in reverse.
To all the vast listeners out there, don't come on Thursday's show if you don't want to hear the shit. Because Thursday, I don't want to get any emails.
Did we get any?
I'm not going to talk about that right now. No,
I was about to say, did we really? That's fucking hilarious.
I don't, but Thursday's a different animal because we'll get back to this axe murder because we've actually talked about breaking Thursday's episode off into a whole nother podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to.
I think we're going to do that eventually because
it is
because I know the comments are coming.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it I would say. Because the Thursday episodes are more, I don't want to say they're more us because this is still our shit. I love this stuff. But, like, it's more us in our natural habitat. Just throwing shit out. You know what I mean? Like, on this, yeah, I hold back a little bit. Especially with stuff like this. Right. When I'm talking, like I got a little more serious until I got past the Lena Stillinger thing. Because that is a trigger thing for a lot of people, including myself. I don't like when people fuck around with kids. It bothers me. You kill them, you molest them, any of that, you should be fucking hung. Like, I don't care.
So, because Thursday's unscripted, it's just us having a few ideas of what we want to talk about and just winging it. and it gets a little explicit.
Yeah.
So if you're offended by that, just don't come back on Sundays.
Just a little. It just gets a little.
Just come back on Sundays. Don't leave me any comments. Don't send me an email.
Which is
and
why
if you do,
I do think
if you do send me an email, I have a new email address for you. It's called pissoff@gmail.com. I don't give a shit.
Go fuck yourself.
But it's just a different animal.
AOL.com.
Thursday's a different animal. It's more fun for us.
Eat a dick at fuse.net.
Yes. All right. Continue with.
So yeah, he was already in trouble for ye old fucking cock shots and fucking butthole bloopers. So the grand jury actually go ahead.
Well, even if it was a picture, it took like 2 hours to take a picture. You know, standing there with the guy standing there. How long do you have to stay hard? Jesus.
Or do you think that he just did it like Rembrandt or something like that, and he just made an etching of it over time, and then he could just fucking like ink stamp it every time?
Oh, maybe. Okay. Continue. Go ahead.
I thought about this.
But hey, props to the guy for being creative.
Yeah,
he started the whole dick pic.
Well, I don't think he did, because have you ever heard some of the letters that went back and forth between Napoleon and whoever his fucking ugly, hairy French girlfriend was?
Marie Antoinette?
Was it Marie Antoinette?
I don't know. I'm just...
But yeah, they'd be like, I long for your touch. I can't wait to taste you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's how they corresponded with each other.
Well, because he could do it standing up, because he was, what, 3 foot?
Yeah, I know,
okay,
right?
Anyway,
he was a fucking badass, though. Shout out Napoleon, dude. Great mind. Fantastic military mind for a fucking... God damn it. I was going to say... I couldn't think of the name, though. I was going to call him whatever that family is from...
I'm lost.
Little People, Big World.
I have never seen it.
Was it the Duggars?
Never seen it.
Great family. They hard-working people. They had a pumpkin farm. I thought it was really, really funny. Let's grow the biggest vegetable we can.
Get on topic before we get canceled.
So anyway, Reverend Kelly was indicted by the grand jury. The hurdy-gurdy man. But he was indicted by the grand jury for Lena's murder and was interrogated like pretty much the whole summer of 1917, awaiting trial.
Right.
And they say... interrogated. There's some literature out there that says there may have been a little bit of a questionable, possibly torture-esque technique thrown in there from time to time. They might have Guantanamo'd him a little bit.
Waterboarding? They did that shit. Cops were bad back then?
No. Yeah, see? We're going to put these bamboo splints under your fingernails until you tell us what you did to the little girl.
Huh.
Somebody called Dick Tracy. Tell him to come in here with his yellow hat.
Guess they should have defunded the Iowa police, too. Continue.
Anywho. So,
I might as well just piss everybody off now.
Yeah, on August 31st of that year, 1917, at 7 o'clock in the morning, Reverend Kelly signed a confession saying that God whispered, "Suffer the children to come unto me."
What was his name again?
Who?
This Reverend.
Reverend Lynn George Jacqueline Kelly.
Oh, that's right. 4 names. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, piece of shit. You're automatically a piece of shit if you have 4 names.
Right.
Like,
and not from the
unless,
South.
None of them
Alabama,
are hyphenated.
It's acceptable if you're from Alabama.
None of them are hyphenated.
All right, continue.
Joe, Bob, Sue, Jack. But yeah, that was in his confession. That's what he said. He said, God whispered, "Suffer the children to come unto me." Which, first off, that's super dark and scary. Second, it automatically makes my older end of the millennial generation go towards a certain term with it we no longer use. But
don't.
He's trying to come unto somebody.
Okay.
It was.
So we'll get it. Is that all about douchebag Reverend?
The only other thing is he recanted the confession at trial and was acquitted by 2 juries.
Okay, so
they tried to get him twice, and he was acquitted both times.
Now, wasn't there a senator or a congressman or something that was?
That's the next one on my list. So this because this one is arguably the most compelling one to me.
There's a House of Card action going on, maybe.
Yes, this one's very. It's dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got there's a lot of shit going on with this particular person that would definitely point into this
A
direction.
politician with a lot of shit going on?
No.
No shit.
Right.
Huh. Okay.
Shout out Ronald McDonald Trump. You like that one?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's the first time I've heard of that.
I know, right? That'd be a great. We make that a T-shirt. He'd sue the fuck out of us if we used anything like his likeness. Well, no, you can use like a parody of a likeness, can't you?
Hey, I don't need the Donald coming after me. Okay?
Whatever. He'd be like, I'm going to sue you, and I'd be like, how about we give you 50% because we sold 2. Yeah, that's fine. That's enough to pay for my Diet Cokes for the day.
Hey.
And apparently he drinks like fucking 15 or 16 Cokes or Diet Cokes a day. Easy.
Yeah, I like any president that still eats McDonald's. I like it.
See, like Warren Buffett too. Warren Buffett still eats McDonald's breakfast every day.
Doesn't he still live in this freaking house?
I would. He's like one of the richest people in the world. Why not? That's how you stay rich.
Exactly.
I say it all the time. If I win, what are you going to do if you win the lottery? I'm going to buy a modest house, a handful of super sick cars that I've wanted my whole life, and take care of the people I care about and give a lot of it to charity.
Okay. So let's get to this. Well, was he a senator or a congressman?
Or you talking about Frank F. Jones? Frank F. Jones was a Villisca resident. He ran the Jones store and was an Ohio State senator.
Ohio State?
God damn it. Ohio. I'm just going to say Ohio the rest of the time. Fuck me, man. Sorry.
Iowa State senator.
So, he was an Iowa State senator. Now, Joe, JB, Josiah, whatever the fuck, he's got 13 names. He was Jason Bourne. He was a spy. He worked for Jones until he opened his own implement company, which, like I said before, it sells shit for farms. Because I didn't know what the fuck.
Like attachments type,
all kinds of stuff, right. like heavy equipment, all that. Which I had to look it up because I was like, "What the fuck is an implement company?" I was like, "Is he implementing things into people's rectums that are shaped like grenades
and raccoons?"
Naturally.
All right,
that's
tradition. A Thursday topic. Come on.
Raccoons and hand grenades, still my favorite thumbnail so far.
I worked hard on that one.
So the locals in the area said that old Frankie boy here, Frankie F. Jones, he was a little ass hurt when Joe left the company, because Joe not only left his company to start his own competitor, direct competitor, which I would think is probably the only one in a small town. Well, right. Decent sized town, but still, how many people are selling heavy equipment?
Right.
But he was really butthurt because you know what old Joe took with him? The contract to the John Deere franchise. Yeah.
No shit.
Yes.
That's worth killing over.
Far be it for me to say I've ever been put in a position where I felt like I could actually no, that's a lie. We've all wanted to kill somebody here or there at least some way.
Not me.
But, okay.
Hey, I've always said there's a fine line between.
Phil loves Chuck Norris movies. But yeah, he took like what is at this point, I don't want to say the number one name, but definitely in the upper echelon of any name of any company that makes any type of farm equipment. John Deere, the one that everybody knows. Right. I mean, yeah, you've got your Kubota and and even Husqvarna to an extent, but like everybody knows John Deere. Everybody knows the color combo. Like it's got to be one of the most recognizable companies in the world at this point. And Joe Moore took that franchise with him.
Big contract.
That's why Frank was fucking pissed.
That's what we call motive, my friend.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. When I read that, that's when I was like, that fucking dude, oh God. Like if somebody was going to do it, like, again, far be it for me to say anybody deserves to die for anything, but holy fuck. Imagine like if you do the inflation up to this point, what that contract is worth. There's got to be billions of dollars.
Probably, yeah, I would think.
Yeah. Well, not only just contract,
it's Iowa.
Well, look, the John Deere franchise. So I would assume that at this point he was one of the only people dealing in John Deere products in that area at the time. In Ohio.
It's worth killing. Ohio.
Yeah. That's not the first time I said that. I said that earlier, too, today, because a couple of regulars were looking for a birthday present for another regular who's from Iowa, or he's an Iowa fan. And they said something about Ohio State jersey. He was like, "You never wear it." I was like, "Just make your own that says Ohio State." Fuck me. Anyway, god damn it. But yeah, that one, dude, that was the one when I read that, I was like, oh shit, this dude probably did it.
Right.
Like, because people have been killed for business dealings on a much smaller scale than that. Motherfuckers get popped for $20 bags of heroin. Like, and you're talking something that even at that time was probably being measured in the millions of dollars.
Right.
So, and then on the other side of things, there was a little bit of a grapevine activity going on, saying that old Joey boy was, lack of a better word without reading all of this shit, fucking with Frank's daughter-in-law. His John Deere was plowing her field. That's rumored. I haven't seen any like hardcore like that's confirmed fact. So, but her name was Donna with one N.
Donna.
I hope it was Donna, but Donna. I don't know where you're coming from with all this. Anyway, that was a bad one. Jesus. We'll cut that out.
No, we're leaving that shit in.
I even wrote down that's a stupid fucking name.
But
and also that was it really worth it with a name like Donna? How hot was she?
Josiah was tapping
the daughter-in-law of Frank F. Jones, supposedly.
So was Donna or whatever her name was married to his son? I would admit.
Yes.
Okay.
Duncan Donna was married to Frank F. Jones' son.
Okay.
But like I said, there was never any
hard proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like and even then I don't know, like,
well, let's be honest.
How pissed off are you? I was gonna say how pissed off are you to kill somebody over that, but if you put it all together, I mean, yeah, you're gonna flip the fuck out.
If you're taking your John Deere dealership or whatever,
and opening a competing storefront,
you don't need much more of an excuse. You're screwing my son's wife. Yeah, okay, that might have just been enough to push him over the edge.
I wonder if their last interaction was like he walks in and just looks at Josiah right in his face when it is brand new story. He's like, anybody's fucking my family, it's me, you son of a bitch.
It is Iowa.
Yeah, Ohio State. Now, Detective Wilkerson from the Burns Detective Agency, he straight up accused Frank and his son Albert of hiring William Mansfield. We're on to the next one. Or did I... When the fuck did I get? Oh, yeah, no, because this got it. So they to hire Williams Mansfield, because this is a whole nother part. They didn't arrest Albert or Frank, and they both just swore up and down that they didn't have anything to do with this shit. Like, no duh, you would fucking deny it.
Right.
Did you kill 8 people, including 6 children? Yup. My B. He owed me some money. Like, what the fuck? So anyway, because this is the thing, is that's where we're on to William Blackie Mansfield, who was a white guy.
Okay.
I just found that interesting. I was like, where the fuck do you get the name Blackie as a white guy in that time period?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you should work in a coal mine?
I'm just sitting here looking for you. Just keep on digging.
What's his name? Justin Thoreau, or whatever his name is. Let us know.
Prime Minister.
Is he the one that did blackface?
No, he did brownface.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do whiteface. Whiter.
Well, you're Asian. Don't.
Well, then
don't appropriate our culture.
My version of that would be brownface, because then I'd say it was Filipino.
Okay. The Philippines is a strange place.
It is.
Don't they speak Spanish?
They speak Tagalog.
But it's like a form of Spanish.
Kind of.
Right?
Well, it was a Spanish annexation.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Like their last names will be Ramirez and shit.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
Asians with
Like they're the dark.
Sanchez names.
As far as I know, like being an Asian person, they're usually the darker Asian of all of them.
Yeah, but it's just weird seeing an Asian person with, basically.
Manny Pacquiao, like
Right.
yeah. It's yeah.
It's kind of a weird place.
I might dive into that and see if there's anything crazy behind the Philippines because it's a very interesting area of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Great food. Holy fuck.
Joe Coy.
Kalila, Bobby Lee's
Oh
girlfriend.
yeah.
Yeah. She's an interesting one. I believe she's half Filipino, half Egyptian.
Well, that's a nice mix.
Right?
That's a nice mix right there.
That's an interesting one. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how that one just comes along, but hey,
Spicy.
spicy with a side of spitting cobras. What? They live in Egypt. So that brings us to William Blackie Mansfield, who was erected.
He was erected.
Oh, this has turned into a Thursday shit show real fast. He was arrested in 1916. He was from Blue Island, Illinois, and was the prime suspect of the Berms. God damn it. Tip of the tongue, teeth, and the lips. He was the prime suspect of the Burns Detective Agency out of Kansas City and Detective James Newton Wilkerson.
Okay.
I don't know why everybody's got so many fucking names in this shit. They piss me off. Now, they say that, F.F. Jones, Fuckface Jones, hired Mansfield to do this, which, yeah, if you're that well off and you're that well known, yeah, you're going to hire somebody to do your dirty work in a situation like this. He was also known as George Worley or Jack Turnbull. And he said, Detective Wilkerson said that William Mansfield was a coke fiend and a serial killer.
Coke fiend and a serial killer.
Yeah.
Well, let's tap into that.
He loves soft drinks and Captain Crunch.
Was Captain Crunch around? Captain Crunch was not around.
A serial killer.
Okay. Oh, okay. You can't don't fuck.
I saw. Well, there was a kid in high school. I remember he wore a white sheet with a bunch of those little like individual size cereal boxes with plastic knives in them. Everybody's like, "What are you?" He's like, "I'm a serial killer." I was like, "That's fucking awesome."
But serial killer is very interesting in this case. There were other murders.
Yep. I got it.
Okay. Let's get to it.
I've got fucking
maybe
8
we
pages
should talk
of
a
shit.
little bit more before we do these stuff.
I kind of like the bounce back though.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so he was also believed to be responsible for the axe murders of his wife, his infant child, his father-in-law, and his mother-in-law in Blue Island, Illinois in 1914.
Right.
And the axe murders in Paola, Kansas, 4 days before the Villisca murders. And the murders of Jenny Peterson and Jenny Miller in Aurora, Colorado.
Well, there's just too many Jennies anyway.
Well, I do believe that this is all along one train line.
Exactly. There. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 14. 14 bodies in a semi-short period of time.
It's a good body count.
Yeah.
Ice
Better than mine.
Ice-T would be proud.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So
At least you got that one.
yeah, and Detective Wilkerson said that all these murders were performed in precisely the same way.
But wasn't he? I did read.
Well, I have some of the backing to that here. He said it was all axe murders. All the mirrors were covered. There was always a lamp somewhere around the scene.
And there was
the chimney was off every time. Like in the Villisca house, like they found the lamp and like the chimney was off, the wick was turned to the side, and I believe they found the wick like under a bed or a dresser or something like that. And there was always the water basin,
right,
for washing their hands off. Which that one, all the other stuff, yeah, that's very almost damningly happenstantial. But like the water basin, I feel like that's just kind of how things were done. You know what I mean? Like it's convenient that that all these things added up, but I feel like out of all of it, the water basin is the least damning, because that was a very traditional way of cleaning your hands and shit back in the day, for everyone.
So, but he was a suspect in all these murders.
All of them.
He got off because what I read, his family that he killed, they proved he didn't do it, from which I thought was bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I go further, and I got a lot of good information on Mansfield.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, they did say that something that made the detectives more suspicious of Mansfield is the killer in the Villisca house, avoided leaving any fingerprints because they wore gloves. Now, this could point to William Mansfield, because Mansfield was fully aware of the fact that his fingerprints were actually, even in this time, were on file, because he did time at the federal military prison at Leavenworth. So he knew that his fingerprints were on file with the federal government, which then not everybody's was back then. It wasn't as widespread as it is now. You know what I mean? Detective Wilkerson also said he could prove Mansfield was in all the cities the days of these murders, like the individual days of the individual murders in every city. He could prove he was in all these cities on that day, which is like, there's too much. If all this shit's true, there's too much stuff adding up there. It's too easy. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way it's all true. And we all know detectives were very quick draw McGraw back in the day to, like, any type of vagrant or visiting person or anything like that.
Outsider.
Automatically,
outsider,
you're automatically suspect number one. But it's hard for me to wrap my head around all of this being true. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're going to do all this stuff, even if you're an uneducated person, you have to be smarter in that life.
Right.
To really be doing it.
Very true.
Which I do have written here. What did fucking William Mansfield do to Wilkerson? Like, that's the first thing I thought of. Was like, this dude's just after this dude. Like, he fucked his wife, or like diddled his horse or something. Maybe he just wanted
justice for these dead people.
Justice.
Okay, Batman.
Where are they? So an investigation was opened up through a jury. A jury voted on this in 1916. William Mansfield was arrested and brought to Montgomery County from Kansas City. But even though Wilkerson said what he said about proving him to be in all these places, William Mansfield, I forget. I saw the name of this person that supplied this, had payroll records showing that he was in Illinois during the Villisca murders.
So, are you saying maybe Wilkerson worked for the LAPD? Tried to OJ him?
I mean, my whole thing, like that, and that's when I started thinking, like, maybe Wilkerson just has it out for this guy.
I mean, yeah.
Like, maybe he doesn't fucking like this cat, which is fucking understandable, but not cool.
So he was carrying out a little vengeance and planting evidence. And
well, old Blackie, he got the best of this one, because he was then released due to lack of evidence and won a lawsuit against Detective Wilkerson for $2,225, which, if you put it to today's, it's around $50,000.
Oh, I would think it'd be more than that, but that's a good sum of money.
Yeah, so you got around in today's money, around $50,000 from all this shit. So, where am I? Oh yeah, okay, got it. Sorry. Now Detective Wilkerson said that Fuckface Jones, FF Jones, that's what I nicknamed him in my notes, pressured for and caused Mansfield's release, but and also Reverend Kelly's subsequent arrest. because Reverend Kelly didn't get hit till 17.
So basically, he was just.
Wilkerson was saying that Jones was trying to pass the buck as often as possible because if he didn't physically do it, he had something to do with it.
Okay.
Which is interesting. But what is this? Oh, so this is some other sidebar shit. About it has to do with Mansfield, but it's just some little things, anecdotal things that I read that this person R.H. Thorpe, it said a restaurant man, so the shittiest superhero in the world, from Shenandoah, said that Mansfield was the man that he saw boarding a train in Clarinda, and said that he had walked from Villisca. Yeah, around the time of the murders. And then Vina Tompkins of Marshalltown testified to hearing three men in the woods plotting to kill the Moors. Again, all just anecdotal as far as I'm concerned, but especially back then, I'd imagine it was somewhat damning. So now we've got this dude Henry Lee Moore.
No relation.
Thank you. Actually, I have that written down with Uncle Ruckus next to it. Have you ever seen Boondocks?
No.
He's a black guy that is racist against black people in the Boondocks show. And every time he says he has reverse vitiligo. And every time he introduces himself, he's like, Uncle Ruckus. No relation. No matter who he's talking to. But this guy, what I have here is, so a federal officer named M.W. McCauley was assigned to the Villisca case.
M.W. McCauley?
Yeah. Right. Kevin!
What, Magnum P.I. wasn't available at that point?
Nah, he was busy giving chicks fucking mustache rides in his Ferrari. So he was put on this case and accused Henry Moore of the Villisca murders and 22 others. He's a fucking busy boy.
He's going to town.
Yeah, he's murdering more people than I've slept with.
Sucks to be you.
I like low numbers. Keeps me from getting all itchy and bumpy.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Just continue.
Okay. So, but he was actually convicted at one point of the murders of his mom and his maternal grandmother, so his mom's mom, in Columbia, Missouri.
Happy Mother's Day.
In Columbia, Missouri, a couple months after the Villisca killings, in which he used an axe. Yeah.
Well,
Which not a super, like, we're not talking about a time where like everybody was walking around with fucking Glock 9s all the time. You know what I mean? Like, an axe was a very valid and accessible weapon to murder somebody with back then.
That would be like a butcher knife.
Yeah.
Every house has an axe.
Yeah.
Now, no.
Like, stabbings and beatings were just very rampant back then.
But
like, it was just, well, I don't even want to say rampant, just more common. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you can run a motherfucker over with your horse and buggy.
Well, if you
Because
were
cars
drunk and
were
slow,
hardly a thing at this point.
they were starting to come around.
Yeah, but not when, like, even my fat ass ain't getting run over by a Model A. Like, oh God, they're coming at us. They're moving so quickly. About 4 miles an hour. Like,
Get out of the way. Not yet.
right.
Not yet. I got a minute. Hold
It's
on.
like the scene from Austin Powers when he runs over the dude with the
It's been so long
the
since-
steamroller.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Michael McDonald from Mad TV, and he just for like 2 minutes. That shit was fantastic. Now, Henry Lee Moore was convicted, not charged, convicted of the murder of his mother and grandmother, and served 36 years of a life sentence before getting out of prison. And he was never known to be convicted of any of those other crimes. And I believe he's the one where they said that nobody knows where or when he died exactly. But But it just leads back to, like, anybody that was any type of a vagrant or visitor or whatever or traveler was just automatically on the fucking radar. Off rip.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'll let you give that shout out.
Hello, Garrett, young lad.
You do the shout outs. I don't do shout outs.
Oh, do I need to? Is there more?
No.
And Brienne as well. Hello. They're
I don't
watching
do
together.
They're watching together.
Together forever, amen. That's a copyright strike. Watch.
What are they gonna do?
Right.
Demonetize us?
Right. So the next.
Trust me. Monetize. I can see. We're so far away from it.
Monostat D.
We're
is
so
really
far
good.
away from YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about monetizing.
I've never even
this.
worried about like making money off.
We've
YouTube
already dug that hole.
No.
They will never. We could have 1 million freaking subscribers. They say, no.
Okay, so here's the good one.
Go ahead.
This is not good in that it's like hardcore fuck you evidence, but just an interesting cat. His name is Andy Sawyer. The first thing I wrote is he's fucking crazy. Because he is. I'll get into why. He basically just scrolled into this town of Creston. I don't remember where that was from. I don't remember if it was Iowa or Illinois or whatever.
Or
Ohio, Illinois.
Somewhere in the country.
But he basically just strolled up to this pile driver. That's a job title, actually. And got hired on for a railroad job just out of nowhere. And so he arrived in Villisca with the crew. Or no, he arrived with the crew in Fontanelle, Iowa that night. And when they got there, this was after the murders. When they got there, they said the crew and his boss, I can't remember his fucking boss's name. Dyer was his name. Said that when they arrived in Fontanelle, Sawyer got off of the train or whatever the fuck you call whatever they fucking moved it. Excuse me. And went and bought a paper and went off by himself to read it. And the cover story of the paper was the Villisca killings. And he told his boss, Dyer, I don't have his first name written down, that he was in Villisca that night and left thinking he'd catch the blame for it. I wonder why. So, and then at some point, his boss, Mr. Dyer, walked up behind him, and he was rubbing his head with both his hands, reading this, or was like had read it and put it down or something like that. And when he realized he was there, this cat jumped up, said, "I'll cut your goddamn heads off," and then started while making striking motions with an axe and hitting piles in front of him. I don't know what the piles were. It didn't say. But literally jumps up, gets startled, jumps up, says, "I'll cut your goddamn heads off," and starts making fucking axe motions. Like, it's just 2 + 2 is 4, people. Like, you know.
Well, he fits the, criteria of being stupid to be a serial killer. So
yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. Here's the other part that throws the fucking wrench in the gears for this guy. He had a lot of crazy shit to say about the charges or about the murders and shit, but his charges on the Villisca killings were dropped because he was arrested in Osceola, Iowa, the night of the murders for what is this?
What?
Vagrancy. That's what it is.
Vagrancy, yeah.
My handwriting is fucking terrible. And the Osceola sheriff put him on a train around 11 p.m. that night. So he's pretty
get out
much,
of Dodge.
Yeah, so he's pretty much caught a get out of jail free card. And other than that, that's the last suspect I have. Other than that, we already talked about there was like 1 or 2 other named ones. Well, I saw a handful of other people by name, but it was all dudes that were in prison, and we're talking like 20, 30, 40 years later, right. And they're admitting to it, but their stories don't add up, or the number of bodies they said there doesn't add up, and it all just kind of was just piss. Well, a lot of people do that in prison. Right. It's very common.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, of course, if you're serving life, what's one more?
Oh yeah. Well, like people make that. Well, in a lot of guys, I've heard a lot of people talk about like guys will do shit like that to try to make a name for themselves, so nobody fucks with them. You know, it's just like, yeah, it happens all the time.
Oh.
Like you get fake little gangbangers up in there and shit.
But I think there is something to this serial killer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did any of these three do it? Who knows? And look, before we are running, we're getting close on time. Before we get, let's talk about a little bit about paranormal.
What do you want? Do you want this last little tidbit of actual info I have?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Which I think really helps the argument.
Prematurely.
Well, I think it's very little, and it's not about any suspects or the killing itself, but it's about the Lynn family, who the Lynn family were already known and respected in Villisca, Iowa. This is more current. Like I think it was like the 70s maybe when all this started, because they already had a museum on behalf of their family. Like, and the history of their family in the town of Villisca, in Villisca already.
Right.
Now, the Lynn family, they bought the Moore home, and they renovated it, more or less, going off of old photographs and shit like that, to make it look as it looked in 1912 when the Moore family lived there. To the point that it's, in 1998... the Villisca house was added to the National Registrar of Historic Places in the state of Iowa, which I think on top of, now we get into the paranormal, and I wanted to touch on that because of this point. Yes, you have the murders, you have the energy, you have the darkness, you have the atrocities that happened, but when the Lynn family renovated the home, they took it all the way back to how it was. They weren't playing. They had the closest looking or made furniture to put back in the places it was in, and all the crime scene photos and any other photos they could find of the house on the inside and outside. Stripped siding, everything repainted. They pulled all the plumbing out. They pulled all the electricity out.
Went back to an outhouse?
Yes. They actually reinstalled an outhouse on the property where the outhouse originally was. They took out every modern thing that was not part of that property when all of this happened, which to me does not hurt the chance for a paranormal situation, because you're now, if it's the spirits of those kids or those parents, you're dropping them right back into exactly what they knew before their lights went out for the last time. The house that they were asleep in, almost precisely the night that their whole family got fucking beaten to death, plus 2 kids, which I think with the number of kids and some of the EVPs that I've heard, the kids have a lot to do with it, but I think there's a lot, if there's an energy of those people there, I feel like those parents are fucking still just heartbroken and fucking pissed, because not only did them and their 4 kids get killed, because they had 2 of their children's friends with them to just be friends and have a sleepover. 2 other little girls died.
There's no doubt that it's very there's got to be energy and there's got to be activity.
Yeah. And I don't have any, like, we're going to figure out the whole pulling up clips thing at some point and, you know, make a little bit more of a video experience for everybody, but you can easily go on YouTube or anywhere on the internet. There's just mounds upon mounds of evidence about this place, because you can still go there for like $420 something. You and I could go there and have it for the night.
But that's the problem.
And they're booked the fuck up.
That's the problem with these pay-to-play places.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this a little bit, I think at Raw's. Places can be overhunted.
Oh, for sure.
And these pay-to-play places, especially these popular places, you go, wow.
Yeah.
You go into these places so hyped up, and they're so popular.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough, you're going to find something.
Yeah.
So I don't, I have a love-hate relationship with these popular ghost hunting attractions, because that's what they become, attractions at this point, and they're money making. And how, what the hell is she eating over there? Whatever.
Oh, I thought she was gonna have an episode.
Yeah, But when these places are so, if you're spending $400 or $100 or whatever to investigate a place like this, if you look hard enough, you're going to find something. It affects you.
Yeah, because if nothing else, it does, because don't get me wrong, if you wanted to do it and we could get a date, I would totally road trip out there and do this investigation. It'd be sick, I think. If nothing else, it'd be great fucking clickbait. But yeah, if you're willing to drive halfway across the country and pay $400 to stay in a house, the chances for something in your mind just kind of making itself known is so fucking high.
Right. And whether or not it's actual real or a figment of your imagination, or your brain connecting dots that don't really need to be connected.
Yeah.
So it's a dicey game, and it's touchy at best. But I don't know. It's just, there's no doubt there has to be some energy there.
Yeah.
But has it dissipated over the years? Where
the fuck did you get that?
Get what?
She's making herself a little bed.
Oh. I think the mixer wrapped up.
For a dog that's supposed to be dumb as shit, she's pretty smart.
Yeah, she's crazy like a fox. But I see what you're saying, and I obviously all of this is up in the air. We don't know for sure, but right. I don't disagree with that thought process at all. And if nothing else, I feel like even if it's not like the energy dissipates or anything like that, I feel like once you get to a certain extent, whatever's there is going to be like, no, fuck off, dude. Like, I'd imagine, like, they have to get sick of shit in some way, shape, or form, just like we do if it's not residual. Right. Yeah, knock once for yes. No, I'm not knocking. Piss off.
Yeah. Like, because that's why next time I'm going to be like, don't fucking knock. I want you to blast through here like the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah.
Little macho man.
Oh, brother. Jake, you better I want to watch that cobra bite you, or else it's not going to bite me, brother.
I watched a special on him today.
Which one? The Dark Side of the Ring?
No.
Him and Miss Liz?
No, it was something different. It was A&E's new series.
Oh.
How they're doing like 8 or 9 of them.
Did you get to dive into that YouTube channel I sent you at all?
I haven't. I was going to do that today, but
he's got a good way of just knocking out somebody's career in 20 minutes. It's pretty good.
But anyway, getting back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, any places you have to pay for these popular places.
Yeah.
It's such a.
Well, just like the Golden Lamb. Like, everybody brings up the Golden Lamb to me, and I'm like, like, it's still an actively functioning fucking hotel.
But there's not. I'm not saying there's not activity there.
No, but like, especially if it's still if the business, like, just for the Golden Lamb, for those of you who don't know, I believe it's in Lebanon, right?
Yes, Lebanon.
Golden Lamb is in Lebanon, Ohio. It's a haunted hotel,
restaurant, hotel.
Yeah, but which is all good. Well, I'm sure. Yeah, there might be some stuff going on there, but the only way I'm going to want to go in there is if you shut that motherfucker down for the night.
Right.
No other patrons, no other guests, you know what I'm saying? Because like that's just gonna fucking shit on everything you're there to do.
Unless it's a slow night, but you have to work so hard to filter out,
or you at least like get to have enough money to rent out a whole fucking floor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But even that's not even a perfect solution.
Right. It's just like when they went to that. Who was it? Went to that. What do they call them? Those houses where it's like they're like old hotels, but they rent out the rooms like their apartments to people. Flop houses or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
I saw somebody went to one in Texas, I think it was, and like everybody there was like, yeah, no, crazy fucked up shit happens here. I do crack, but crazy shit happens.
I do crack,
and they even caught some crazy shit, like a fucking ceiling fan getting like moving like a solid 10 feet from one place to another.
Yeah.
Like, but when you go into a place like that where it's inhabited,
right,
and there's things going on around you, like you can't, at that point, unless something physically appears in front of your face, you can't rule out interference on anything you catch while you're there.
Right. And this place, this house, I agree with you. Throwing it back to the original design could spark activity, very possible.
Well, and the nice part for me too is I was automatically thought like you took all of the piping, all of the plumbing, on all of the electricity out, so that kind of, unless you have some type of crazy material making up one of those pieces of furniture, that pretty much eliminates your fear of serious EMF interference.
Right. So I don't know. I think we've covered this. We'll talk a little bit more about it in the Patreon episode. So we are going to go to the Patreon episode now. Well, we're going to close this one out. I'm going to use the bathroom.
I was going to smoke a cigarette.
And then we're going to...
Don't smoke or do drugs, kids.
Stay in school, kids.
Yeah, Jesus. I totally agree with that one.
But I think we've covered this. I mean, if you have any topics that you want to... Or any questions about this place, or if you know something about this place, if I could think properly.
Yeah, feel free to hit
Feel
us
free
up.
to leave a comment or send us an email.
If anybody happens to catch this, because I saw it on, again, shout out, I'm not trying to copyright or whatever, shout out Brohio. They actually got an EVP sent to them by one of their listeners. If anybody catches this and has been there and has something, that would be fucking sick.
Right.
Send it our way.
But, we will talk a little bit more about this place and then some random bullshit when it comes to the Patreon tonight. If you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/GIT / or slash. What? I don't.
Backslash.
Maybe I'm dyslexic. GITM podcast. That is where you can find the Patreon. Be sure to, like I always say, the YouTube channel is... We are a podcast that does YouTube.
Yeah.
We're focusing on the audio version of it because I like it better. But we're trying to grow that YouTube, so we have got, 5 or 6...
a handful. We broke 300.
Subscribers since
broke 400
Thursday.
on Instagram.
And we're at pushing 2,400 followers on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to make a Twitter. Or at least get access to our Twitter.
But be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like it, watch it.
Oh, and I've been telling people all week, if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, that algorithm works very heavily off of reviews, and the more reviews, preferably good reviews, we get, it will kind of jump us in line over similar podcasts on people's suggestions to bring in more listeners.
Right. So, but follow us on Twitter, night_ghost. That's where I'm most active. If you have a question, comment, or you have a topic that you or question you want answered, DM me there. But we do have a Facebook page as well, facebook.com/ghostinthenight. And that's... I'm not quite as... I know Travis is a little bit more active on Instagram.
Yeah, if you're talking to somebody on Instagram, it's probably me. If you're talking to somebody on Twitter, it's definitely him.
Yeah, right. And if comments on YouTube, it could be any of us.
Probably Phil. You're gonna see him before I do because
Right.
they all tend to happen when I'm at work.
Right. So, but Facebook, I'm going to start doing a little bit more on Facebook. I've been kind of slacking with the Facebook.
I want to see if we can connect Facebook and Instagram.
I can.
Like Twitter is, because Instagram is owned by Facebook.
Oh yeah, I can do it. If I do a post, it'll go to both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
That's generally the last couple times I put something on Facebook. Have been the same post on that went to.
Oh.
They have a whole new thing. I'm still figuring out, but you can do it.
Oh, and I'm going to look into the licensing thing behind it, but I'm going to do everything in my power to start dropping fire memes on the Instagram.
Okay.
Because I dropped 2 the other day that I think are fucking hilarious.
But most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to support the podcast, 2 ways to do it. Become a patron or patron of the Patreon account. Get you bonus material. Or we do have a Spreadshirt account.
We do.
Yes.
Which has more shit and more color combinations that I thought it did.
Did you get a chance to check it out?
Cole was looking at the hoodies and shit last night when we were sitting together.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
buy it, pussy.
You can find it at shop.spreadshirt.com/GITN-paranormal-merch. We have a bunch of hoodies, t-shirts, beanies, some sticker type stuff with the logos and several other paranormal type things. That is where you can get the hashtag Paracondrac.
Paracondrac.
Which
and
is
soon to come the Chupacabra shirt.
Yes.
And
So-
maybe I really want to do something with a raccoon and a hand grenade.
Oh,
now.
we are going to.
Jamie wants one.
We are going to do something with
And
it.
so does Sam. While we're here, fuck it, let's knock it out. Shout out to Brienne. She is our newest Patreon
Right. Well,
pledge.
yes,
She
thank
is
you,
our
Brienne.
latest #paracondrac.
right.
Fuck yeah.
See, growing by leaps and bounds.
We're famous.
Well, you know, we're somewhat famous. We have hundreds of listeners.
Thick Boy's taking over the world.
But
Shout
follow
out
us-
Brendan Schaub, by the way. This is his product. He's a comedian podcaster. He's
If you don't
fantastic
know
too.
everybody knows who Brandon Schaub is.
He has fucking a Thick Boy bike club. He's got all kinds of that
Right.
shit. I love him.
But follow us on all those social media links. Get involved. Leave us a comment. Reach out.
Spread the word.
We love to hear from you. That currently will be the best way to get a hold of us
What's that?
is through the social media links, DMs,
Oh yeah,
because
especially Instagram. I have everything that comes up across Instagram. I get notified.
because
of.
if you listen to Thursday's episode, I am still pissed off about the emails because now it's moved to the good freaking. Somebody sold the information.
What a bunch of bitches.
Now the GITN podcast at Gmail is getting not as bad as the other one, but I'm getting them now too. So
So we'll just have to flag the fuck out of everything
well,
as much as possible.
I spent all day today flagging shit,
Yeah.
and I could have been doing other thing, watching Pornhub or something. Jesus,
Ghost Hub.
Ghost Hub.
Or
But
shoving an adult raccoon up your ass.
that is the best way to get a hold of us. To reach out to us, give us your ideas, your thoughts, or you just want to say hi. We're up to that. We're up for that.
See, that's my thing. Is like you said, a lot of podcasts don't do any direct whatever the fuck with their fans. Like I look forward to that. Like blow up our Instagram inbox
Because
as long as it's not a bunch of bullshit spam. Like I will gladly interact with anybody who wants to talk to us about anything.
Because on the Patreon, I'm going to put up another tier
Ooh,
to where we have a $2 and $5 tier now.
yeah, because $5 a spirit, correct?
I think so.
What's the 10? Is it gonna be 10?
I'm
20?
going to do 10 and 20.
Okay.
But I think 10 will get you a segment phone call on the Thursday. Nah, I don't know if we'll do a Thursday live shit show.
We can do well. I mean, or it could be your choice. Do you could do an
Well,
interview.
if we split off,
or ideas for episodes.
right? But it'll get you at least a 15 to 20 minute phone conversation on the live stream.
Yeah, I'm down for. We have all the technology to hook that up.
We just need to get you some headphones. We need to get you some cans.
Yeah, and I need to get a not
Squeaky.
fucking. Oh, now you're not gonna do it, you fucking whore.
But look for that coming in the future. I don't know when I get time, and I'm actually thinking about
We are both still working men.
and I'm actually thinking about doing more clips for the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Cutting some of this
Which
stuff.
is why I would like to, like one day this week we should, or sometime soon, we should hook up on a day where either we're both off or we're both able to do it at a semi-decent time. Because then, I mean, you sit here and show me how all this editing and shit works. Then I can help. Once I get a computer, I can just log into everything and I can do shit on my own and send you the fucking copies and blah, blah, blah.
And since we're going longer, we have more to clip out.
Yeah.
Maybe do 2 or 3 clips, and that way.
I mean, yeah, we got, almost 2 hours and we haven't done Patreon yet.
We dicked off for
yeah,
10
we did
minutes,
dick off for a while.
5-6 minutes, so we're about an hour and 45 minutes. But that's going to wrap up this episode. We are going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and record our weekly Patreon episode.
Which we haven't done in a while. I'm kind of looking forward to it
because
because we can really cut loose on that motherfucker.
We didn't do one last week because we were on location at Rawls Opera House.
And Thursday, I feel like Thursday was just basically a free Patreon episode that everybody gets.
If you want
like just the slapstick, whatever it comes across our brain that we think about something without pulling any punches or not saying anything that's vulgar or slightly offensive, fucking Patreon.
Right. But we're going to get to that because I have to pee.
I could drain the main vein.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Thank you for everybody that was watching this live stream. Appreciate it. All the comments. Love it.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
We will see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Hurry up and bye.
All right. We'll see you.